Hey everyone, John here! And Mario Galaxy 1 Plus 2 are looking a lot more interesting than they initially seemed. The official Nintendo UK website's got a lot more info about this collection, and also 5 minutes of uninterrupted gameplay which we can directly compare against 3D All-Stars. But before we do, just the main bullet points first. The game will be running at 4K on Nintendo Switch 2, which means 1080p handheld mode as well, but we have not seen it. All footage we've seen so far is the 1080p Switch 1 version, which you can tell just by zooming in on Mario and looking at the aliasing around the model. Even the footage here is 1080p Switch 1. But what's new exactly? Upgraded visuals, which sounds really vague and you may just think this is the resolution enhancement, but that's not actually the case. Many of the textures have been redone in this version. Let's start with this shot here from the trailer. And the first thing you'll probably notice is the text and the font is completely different. Cool, we like our fonts. But now, look at the floor texture. Pay attention to the circles and spot the difference. You may notice that all the circles are in completely different places. And I tested this on every primary mission of this galaxy, and the placement never changes in 3D All-Stars. This is always where they are, but they're entirely different in the new one. And lastly, look down at these circles. These are more detailed little circles now. Very important to the gameplay of Mario Galaxy. And we'll play the full 5-minute gameplay comparison in a moment, but a pretty major one is the cutscenes have been re-rendered this time. Back in 3D All-Stars, they AI upscaled the cutscenes to make them look a bit cleaner because they were stuck in 480p. And while this generally worked, they did introduce some issues like some banding issues. And that's been resolved in the new one. But also, the aspect ratio is completely different. This is now like an IMAX version of Mario Galaxy. It is hard to judge the actual quality of these cutscenes because this comes from a video embedded on the Nintendo website. This isn't pure, uncompressed direct feed, but it does look better than 3D All-Stars either way. And yes, Peach is still T-posing. Anyway, back to the bullet points. Turn on assist mode to help you with your adventures. Play with more health, heal just by standing still, and return to solid ground if you fall into space. You can turn this mode on and off whenever you like. So that's something that is brand new and very similar to an assist mode like Mario Odyssey's, although there's a few new things in there as well. Enjoy additional chapters in Rosalina's picture book, and this is for Galaxy 1. The Galaxy 2 page says this. Discover an entirely new picture book tale from Rosalina. And then in Galaxy 2, listen to the soundtrack of the game from the main menu, 72 tracks in total, whereas Galaxy 1 says 82 tracks in total. So there are quite a few more differences than they showed off in the Direct. And just one more comparison before we get to just raw gameplay. The floor textures in the opening are actually quite striking. I mean, look at the differences here. It really does come to life a lot more in the brand new version. Although many textures are just completely untouched, like the walls. They look exactly the same as they did. But the floor textures seem to be the ones getting a lot more attention. Anyway, we're going to play the first 5 minutes of 3D All-Stars head-to-head with the brand new version of Mario Galaxy 1 Plus 2. Again, do keep into account this footage comes from Nintendo's website, so the quality isn't as good as it could be, but there are still pretty striking differences between the two. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you next time. Bye everyone.
Dear Mario, I'll be waiting for you at the castle on the night of the Star Festival. There's something I'd like to give you. From Peach.
Oh,